I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Donald Trump. Donald Trump tells it all. Donald Trump tells it all about the flying drones. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear in this demonstration is only allegedly. Now, Donald Trump, and I knew it wasn't going to be long. But Donald Trump has weighed in on these flying drones. Let's just go straight to Donald Trump as he talks about these flying drones. Salute, together we break. I see you, together we break. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute. Salute to my replay gang. Salute to the chat. Let's take a listen of what Trump has to say about these flying drones.
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey reports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
You should know the
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been?
Now notice what he said, everybody. Salute positive vibes. I see you, positive vibes. Notice what he said. And he was sure of that. He said that the government knows. I mean, let's just put two and two together. With the military that we have, do you think for 1 minute that if those drones was from another country, do you think for 1 minute if we was under attack, don't think for 1 minute that the military would just let that pass by? Together we break says, I think it's a scared tactic. I think so too. And I'm glad that Trump came out and spoke on this, because for you to think that the government, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Why wouldn't the military, I mean, we got one of the best militaries in the world. And you got flying drones. That's in Jersey. Some of them was reported in North Carolina. Salute James, salute Michelle. James says a distraction. Drop a one if y'all feel like this could be a distraction. I feel like it's a distraction. Now, the question is, why won't the government speak on and tell us what it is? You know, that makes you wonder. Why won't they tell us what it is? I mean, if it's an attack from China, if it's an attack from Russia, North Korea, or Iran, if we are under attack by a foreign country, why won't the government come clean? So exactly what is going on with these drones? What is it? What is it about these drones? And like I said, for the witness that there were 50 The witness said that there were 50 drones. She reported and she seen 50 drones coming out of the water. Salute, Nurse P. Appreciate you for pulling back up. Nurse P says the crazy thing is we are actually under attack. I told you earlier, they've been there. I knew about them in July when my youngest son was interviewing at NASA and he told me about it. So this is something that has been in the making. It's been in the making. But why play with us like this? You know what I mean? Why play with us like this? Nurse P says they are not drones. They are mini robots launched by Iran. Michelle says, they said those drones are as big as a car. Wow. So Nurse P says they are robots. Drop a 1 if y'all feel like it's robots and not drones. Let's get back and see what else we can get out of this before I jump into my commentary. Make sure y'all double tap that screen. Double tap the screen and get my likes up. Double tap the screen and get my likes up.
Several reported drone sightings throughout our area in the last month. Fox 5's Lisa Evers is live in Mahwah, New Jersey with the very latest reports and concerns from residents and lawmakers there. Lisa.
Well, Bianca, the calls for action about the number of drones flying in the skies here in New Jersey and New York is growing, as are the frustrations of local and state officials who can't seem to get any definitive answers from Washington. Now, with the busy air travel season upon us, there are great concerns about airline and air safety in general. Hundreds of sightings of drones appearing at night in the skies over New Jersey and New York for more than a month.
Wow. Now, just imagine y'all outside. Imagine y'all walking and y'all see some ish like this. First thing y'all gonna do is be like, yo, and anybody that y'all contact and tell them what y'all seeing, they gonna be like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. But just imagine if it was y'all that seen these drones / robots.
Times they're solo, but other times there are dozens of them, even flying in organized formations. Witnesses say they range in size, all of them unexplained. Some have been sighted over military installations and near airports. Over the weekend, Stewart International Airport in Orange County, New York, had to be temporarily shut down due to a safety threat from drone activity. Officials say the drones do not show up on the regular FAA flight radar screens, and Senator Chuck Schumer is asking Homeland Security to deploy drone detection technology, similar to what's been used to prevent airstrikes by birds. But New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer has had enough. He's just moments ago, a short time ago, he's calling on the feds to come clean. Here's what Gottheimer had to say.
So this is an issue. This is a problem for the DHS, Department of Homeland Security. This is, and I repeat it again, this is a problem. This is an issue for the DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Salute, Coffee Girl. Salute, Coffee Girl. Appreciate you for pulling up. Together We Break says they caught a Chinese national flying a drone over a California military base last week. That's facts. That's facts.
Later today, I'll be introducing a resolution in Congress calling on the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the FAA, the lead agencies, to publicly brief on what they know about the drones. Not a paper statement, but actually get out there and do a proper public session where they review what they know and take questions. I believe the people who I represent, and as I've been saying for some time, the people in New Jersey around the country deserve clear answers.
Soundbite? Yeah. Now, just a short time ago, President Trump held a press conference in which he addressed the drone situation. Here's what President-elect Trump had to say.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And
Let me just stop right there, y'all. Let me just stop right there. Nurse P says our military isn't as strong as they portray it to be. Coffee Girl says they've been spotted over Australia and some other countries as well. I heard that news today. Together We Break says you are correct, Nurse P. We are weak. This is not a test. The mistake our military made was to let that balloon fly into our airspace. Now, one thing about Trump, say what you want to say about this man, but he don't never sugarcoat nothing. Let's listen to him. He telling it like it is. He's telling it straight like it is. Look, our military, the government, they know exactly what these drones / robots are. That's one of the things that I like about Trump. He gonna keep it real.
That's what President-elect Trump had to say.
the government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And
Now, the frustrations of the regular residents here who have to deal with this, not knowing what they're going to see in the skies or where they are, as well as the statements made by many people, professional law enforcement here on a state level, as well as military personnel, all of whom were on active duty while they had drone sightings, is also intensifying these concerns. We're going to be following this story very closely for you, so keep it locked here on Fox 5 and the Fox Local app. We're live in Mawa. I'm Lisa.
Wow. Wow. See, my wife is cooking, says, I think the drones are being used so you don't really know what really is happening. Nurse P says, but Shank, Trump knows what is going on too. Elon been testing ish. His money is all over this too. Coffee Girl says 198. Y'all double tap that screen and get them likes up. Coffee Girl says 198 watching, only 13 likes. Please get the likes up. James says, remember, some Chinese military age men did cross the border. Positive Vibes says, if they see Shank's head, they might think it's a drone too. Positive Vibes wouldn't be Positive Vibes if she didn't roast me. But it's serious. This is serious no matter how we dress it up, no matter how we look at it. It ain't funny, Coffee Girl. It ain't funny, Coffee Girl. But if the government, even if it's just a test, Together We Break, I'm going to get your ass up out of here if you laugh at me. Moderators, escort Together We Break up out of here if she laugh at me again. Andrew says, many Chinese here, good luck. Who is it? That's the whole question. That's the whole thing. Who's behind the drones? Who's behind these drones? And could it be aliens? I mean, because here's my thing, and I'm going to play devil's advocate. It might be aliens. Now, y'all all know how I feel about aliens. I do believe in aliens. I do believe that there are aliens. I do believe that there are other life on these other planets. Now, I don't believe that these aliens look the way that they portray them in these movies. I think these aliens look just like me and you. I think these aliens, if they came, I think that they would fit right in with us. We wouldn't be able to tell if they are alien now. So I do believe in aliens. I do believe that there's life on other planets. Now, if it's aliens, then maybe that would be why the military, can't detect it. You know, who knows? But it could be China, because China did send a balloon. That balloon was a drone got over here. And then I do know that, oh man, I wish my mind was as sharp as it used to be. Like I could say something, or I could read something right now, and then within 2 minutes, I forget it. And I'll be like, dang, what did I just say? Or what did I just read? But I do know that a few months ago, there were ships. There were ships that pulled up down there in Miami. Salute, Sagas. So where is this country going at? Where do y'all see this country going? Appreciate that super chat, Martin. Appreciate the super chat, Martin. Martin says, my theory is that top intelligence had an AI breakthrough with drones and are testing them against our own defense. So it's not provocative. How many of y'all agree with Martin? But that's a good point, Martin. How many of y'all agree with Martin? Drop a 3 if y'all agree with Martin. Drop a 4 if y'all disagree. Let's go deeper, y'all. James says, good point, Martin. Now, how to detect if what you see in the sky is actually a drone. How to check if an object in the sky is a drone and not a plane. Let's learn some things. So if y'all see some flying objects, if y'all see them in the air, this is how you'll be able to tell whether or not it's a drone or if it's a plane.
And fears and sparked a frantic search for answers, demands for answers. Authorities confirmed that some are drones, but others are just regular airplanes. So if you want to know for sure what you're seeing in the skies above, guess what? There are apps for that. CNN's Claire Duffy is joining me now. I am curious about these apps. How do they work and how many are there?
Yeah, Sarah, this is a really cool way to make sure before you tweet that video of what you think is a drone to check whether it's actually just a regular old commercial airplane. There are 3 of these apps, Flight Radar 24, Plane Finder, and Flight Aware, that will give you a real-time picture of the aircraft that is flying above you. And it also includes helicopters and some drones. So they have these maps where you can look at your live location and see the planes that are flying above you. It will also give you information like their altitude, their speed, their destination, what airline it is. And this works because most aircraft transmit this data called ADS-B data, which tells ground stations and other aircraft where they are. So these apps collect that information, and actually 2 of these apps, Flight Radar and Plane Finder, will let you point your camera at the sky if you see a plane, and it will tell you what that plane is. It's pretty impressive. I tried it this morning. It is very gloomy here in New York. You can't really see the sky, but it still showed me a number of the planes that are in the area.
So there are apps out there. There are apps out there. Let me backtrack for y'all. Let's backtrack and look at the apps.
Includes helicopter.
So these are the apps, y'all. You got Flight Trader 24. You got Plane Finder. And you got Flight Aware. So those are the apps that you can download. And as she said, just hold your phone up to that object that's flying in the sky, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. So that's one of the apps, Flight Trader, or is that Flight Radar 24, Plane Finder, and Flight Aware. Salute, Marie. Salute, Marie. So make sure y'all download those apps.
You are going to see some military aircraft, some high-profile aircraft. You're not going to see Air Force One on these apps. And then there are some of those smaller hobby drones that don't have the technology to broadcast their location the way that planes do.
you know, maybe some folks in the government ought to use some of these things. This has been a time when a lot of people are really concerned with what they're seeing above their heads. Claire Duffy, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
CNN's Polo Sandoval has the very latest for us. So let's start with this incident in Ohio, Polo.
You're talking about the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Southwest Ohio, Kate. This is a reminder of the real disruptive potential of this drone saga, for the sake of our conversation here, that's continued now for almost a month. Base officials there assessed the situation, and leadership there were able to conclude that it did not have, that the unauthorized flights did not actually have any impacts on the base. But again, we've seen something similar before. Now the DHS, the FBI, really at the head of this investigation, maintained that everything they've seen, all the evidence they've gathered in Ohio and beyond, seems to indicate that these drone sightings are not actually a threat to the public. But over the weekend, I want you to listen into the head of the Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, as he, again, reminder that we have heard from federal officials, including the FBI, that have concluded that many of these sightings likely have to do with just a regular airplane. But when you hear from the secretary from over the weekend, he recognizes that some of them are actually drones.
Wow. Salute 10 mil. Wow. Wow. Now, for me, y'all, I'm going to step out there. I don't believe the government knows what's going on. I believe that they suspect. I believe that they got an idea, but I don't believe that the government knows what's going on, y'all. Even though Trump has said that they do, I don't believe that the government knows what's going on. And I'm going to give y'all my reasons. Give me a minute.
Some of them are actually drones.
Some of those drone sightings are in fact drones. Some are manned aircraft that are commonly mistaken for drones. It is our job to be vigilant in the federal government with our state and local partners on behalf of the American public, and we can assure their safety by reason of that vigilance.
And what you heard from the head of DHS just a few moments ago is important here, because when you hear from lawmakers, when you hear from residents in the affected area, we have heard some of those concerns, Kate, that their concerns are going largely overlooked, that they're potentially even being dismissed as simply just being an airplane. So when you hear from the head of DHS recognizing some of those concerns, I think that's important. And then finally, we do know that the federal government is deploying various assets, as the governor of New York described it as state-of-the-art equipment, to try to track down these drones and try to identify them. Wouldn't really elaborate on exactly what that kind of equipment is, but we've heard from experts last week that said they use cameras, they use radar, they use radio frequency equipment as well to try to track those down. And this is the kind of equipment that we...
It says, in response to my calls for additional resources, our federal partners are deploying a state-of-the-art drone detection system to New York State. And this was the governor, Kathy, of New York. Let me backtrack.
They said they use cameras, they use radar, they use radio frequency equipment as well to try to track those down. And this is the kind of equipment that we have heard from lawmakers they want there on the ground. But really, just to punctuate your interview with the senator from Connecticut, Senator Richard Blumenthal, I think that's so key. The question that he raises nearly a month later, there's this information gap that is contributing, according to him, to the alarm. And the question that he raised with you, which is it that the government's not sharing everything that they have? Or is it that they don't know everything that they should? I think people in some of the...
Let's stop right there. Is the government, let me backtrack, is they showing everything? Is they telling us everything that they know? Or are they clueless? I'm going out there on one. I believe that they suspect. I believe that they got an idea. But I just don't believe that they know. Like they said, okay, well, we can't even follow the drones. Now, let's just meditate on that alone. You got these flying objects and y'all can't follow them? Well, why not? Let me guess. Because of rules and regulations. Get out. My thing is, why Or they coming and telling us that they don't know. Maybe they really don't know. Or maybe they don't have a full knowledge. Like I said, and it could be so. You know, it don't mean necessarily that they know. I guess I was talking too much. If y'all notice, every time I start talking, it's always a glitch. So let me keep my big mouth shut. Every time I open up my big mouth and start talking, I always get a glitch. Ain't funny positive vibes. It ain't funny positive vibes. Let me keep my big mouth shut.
Is it that the government's not sharing everything that they have, or is it that they don't know everything that they should? I think people in some of these affected areas would say they don't know which one's worse.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the fact that it's not just I'm seeing things over my house that concern me. It's over an Air Force base that's shutting down airspace, and there's problems at Boston Logan Airport. This is not just a distraction; it is disruptive, and a lack of information is not an acceptable answer at this point. We'll see what happens today. Good to see you, Paula. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
John.
All right, with us now is New Jersey Assemblyman Eric Peterson, who is a state official in Franklin Township, New Jersey. Thank you so much for being with us. I was listening to you over the weekend, and you said that government officials are lying to you. Now, given that the Secretary of Homeland Security
Now let me be quiet. But he's saying, my man right here, let me let it play, y'all. Let me let it play. Now, I'm about to open up my big mouth again. Let me let it play.
You said that government officials are lying to you. Now, given that the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, just went out and said some of what people are seeing are drones. People are seeing drones. Do you feel that the government is still lying to you?
I think they're coming closer to the truth. They've been trying to discredit these sightings from the very beginning. Our meeting last Wednesday, it was the same tactic where they try to brush it off that we weren't seeing what we were seeing. I've actually seen the drones. You know it's a drone because it moves forward, it stops and hovers.
Now, my man said it's drones, Nurse P. My man said it's drones, and you know it's drones because it stopped, it moves forward. So my man, he feels as though it's not robots. He feels as though it's drones.
I've actually seen the drones. You know it's a drone because it moves forward, it stops and hovers.
He said it stops, it moves forward, and it hovers. Nurse P, when you hit me up, just hit me up on Instagram, Nurse P. Hit me up on Instagram later on, Nurse P.
To the side, stops and hovers, moves backwards. I've never seen a plane do that. And you know it's not a helicopter because it's close enough and you can't hear the sounds that you would hear from a helicopter. But I do want to say something. They keep saying that there's no risk to the welfare and safety of the public, and that's not true. We had a medevac helicopter diverted from taking somebody to a trauma center because of these drones. There's also the real risk of an airplane drone collision. The colonel of the state police told us on Wednesday that he's very concerned that at Mercer County Airport, where the drones have been sighted, that they're going to collide with a plane. That's a real threat to safety.
Let me say this, everybody. Let me say this. Until they get these flying drones situated, y'all might not want to take any flights. So if y'all got any flights, if y'all plan on traveling, especially during the holidays, y'all might not want to do it by way of flying in the plane. Because as they said, you taking the chance of the plane colliding with these drones. And according to the female, she saw 50 drones at one time. So y'all might want to not fly until they get these drones / robots, out of the sky, until they find out exactly what's going on.
And to just brush it off that nothing's happened yet, something has happened, but they.
So here's the sightings. Here's the reported drone sightings. Ohio, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New York. There has also been sightings. There have also been sightings in North Carolina. But here's the sightings, y'all. Y'all might not want to take a plane. Y'all might not want to be in no plane until they figure out what's going on with these drones / robots. Salute Still Swinging Podcast. Salute 80s, baby. I see y'all. Salute Sharon. I see y'all. I see the chat. Give me a minute and I'm going to come down there to the chat. I see everybody.
Brush it off when a gentleman by the name of Tobin with the Defense Department or something, some kind of spokesman, when he was asked that question directly, he just brushed it off. But it is a real threat to safety for the folks that live here in New Jersey.
I get it, and so in Boston there were arrests made over people flying drones illegally over airport airspace. In Ohio, you had Wright-Patterson, some of the airspace there shut down because of drones that were illegally there in certain airspace there. But by and large, in many places, it's not illegal to fly drones, is it? Even at night.
We're going to come back to that, y'all. We're going to come back to that. Now, and I ain't going to be long. Y'all know I can't be long. I got, because every time my funky ass, every time my bald head ass start talking, the glitches come. So just give me a second, and I promise y'all I'm going to keep my big mouth shut. So just give me a second, y'all. But what type of games is these white people playing with us? For all my white people that's in the chat, what type of games is y'all people playing with us? Huh? Because y'all know now, y'all know. If these were black people, if the officials that was investigating this were black people, y'all would have a field day on us, how unprofessional we are. See, now it's time for y'all to get y'all karma back. Now, and I done a demonstration about, I'm glad that Donald Trump didn't hire no blacks. But now I wish the government would have hired some blacks. I wish the Pentagon, I wish the DHS, I wish the Department of Homeland Security had some blacks up in there. Because it ain't looking good for the white team. Like I said in the last demonstration, y'all are a bunch of big dummies as white people. Yeah, I said it. With black people, we was forced to be dummies. We was cracked with a whip to be dummies. Y'all forced the stupid white lies on us. White people, y'all wasn't tricked into believing this BS. Y'all wasn't forced into believing the white lies. Why? I know y'all, I know, because let me stop talking. I'm going to get back to the commentary because every time when I start talking, I get them glitches.
No, but what we're seeing here is it's a very different thing, right? So I live out in a rural part of New Jersey, and that probably surprised a lot of people that it's a rural part of New Jersey, but it's very rural out here. The folks that live.
Nah, Harry, you can't put it on big head, funny shaped ears Obama. You can't blame it on the black man this time, Harry. This is your funky ass people, Harry. I assume that you white. You can't blame it on the black man this time. Stop it, Harry. This is white people's mess. And white people, y'all have to accept it. Y'all have to accept it. You can't blame it on the brothers and the sisters this time.
Out here spend a lot of time outside. They watch the planes fly over the stars, the satellites, because you can see there's no light pollution out here. And then all of a sudden, these very large, they're not hobby drones, they're not some guys drinking beer in their backyard flying a drone. These are very sophisticated, large drones come come into over their backyards.
And y'all always talk about black on black crime. And y'all always talk about why black people can't get along. Y'all funky white people can't get along either. He's sitting up there telling them. He white. He's sitting up there telling them. I see you, Caramel. Salute, Caramel. Salute, Miss G. Salute. I see everybody down there. Wow.
And they noticed them. And they're very smart people, because to make sure that it wasn't a plane, they're going on this flight radar 24, which shows all the planes in the vicinity. And they're making sure that when they talk about this, that they're talking about something that they saw, which was a very large, very sophisticated drone over their home. And then they hear reports of these drones being over Trump National, which is just
Stop, Martin. I gotta backtrack this, y'all. Listen to what Martin say, y'all. Martin says, I'm white. I can't get a darn loan. That's my man Martin, y'all. Martin says, I'm white. I can't get a darn loan. Let me backtrack, y'all.
and they're making sure that when they talk about this, that they're talking about something that they saw, which was a very large, very sophisticated drone over their home. And then they hear reports of these drones being over Trump National, which is just down the road from us.
I get it, Assemblyman,
or
I get
at
it.
in the Arsenal.
Yeah, restricted airbase, absolutely. The law is crystal clear. Size and sophistication of drones, which sometimes can be hard to detect from the ground, a little less clear about whether it's illegal or legal. Some of them are perfectly legal to fly in the sky. I guess what I'm saying is the concern here, where is it placed? There is clear illegal activity, but when the activity is legal, shouldn't the energy be focused, or could you be focusing your energy as a lawmaker on passing laws to regulate it? If you've got a problem with people flying drones at night, can you pass some laws to stop that?
Sure. Actually, after this interview, I'm going down to Trenton for a committee hearing, and one of the committees, there's a bill to prohibit drones being flown over schools. We already have laws that prohibit certain places drones being flown, and those laws are being violated. Like I mentioned with the Helivac, it says if it violates law enforcement or first responders, if it interferes with their business, that's a violation of law. That's already a law here in New Jersey. It's not a matter of illegality. It's a matter of the number of drones, the sophistication of them, that they're coming in. It's obvious. It's not hobbyist. It's obvious that it's some kind of enterprise that's
who do you think
very sophisticated. The question is, what are they doing and why are they doing it? Night after night after night.
What does your gut tell you? What do you think it is?
I don't know what to believe. I think Senator Blumenthal said it correctly. Either the government, the Homeland Security, knows exactly what it is, and they're not telling us. They're lying to us. That's where they would be lying to us. Or they have no idea, which is a total failure.
I like my man right there. I like that white man. So all white people ain't dummies, but most of y'all are. But I like my man right there. You know, I like my man. But like he said, either the government, I see you, Saggers. I see you, Saggers. Either the government they do know what's going on, or either they don't know. It's one or the other. But my man, he's on point. Give me some comments, y'all. Give me some comments. I'll take some comments. Shank, listen, the way they describe them, those are not drones. They are describing. Sagan says, I hope you take into consideration to watch that video I sent you. I'm gonna watch it, Sagan. Just give me a minute. C Dizzle says, if we could stop seeing the world as white, black. Oh, now you want to stop. See, this one thing I notice about y'all white folks. When it's time for y'all funky asses to be held accountable, That's when y'all want us to stop seeing the world as white, black, and yellow and all that other stuff. But as soon as it's time for black people to be held accountable, y'all funky ass white people don't never scream nothing about, man, can we just stop talking about race? Stop it. Right or wrong, Hack Man, right or wrong, listen to me. And everybody that rocks with me know, I call a spade a spade. I call out black people. I call out immigrants. I call out everybody. I even call out my bald head milk dud funky ass. So don't get it twisted. Don't think that if I call out myself, don't think if I call out black people, don't think for 1 second, you funky ass white people, that I'm not gonna call y'all out. Don't get it twisted. Salute, Zena. Salute, Zena. Appreciate you for pulling up. Coffee Girl says the government knows what it is. If they tell everything they know, then we be as smart as they are. Can't have that. And I agree with you on that, Coffee Girl. I agree with you on that. Let's see how many people. Let's see. Drop a 4. Drop a 4 if y'all think that the government knows exactly what's going on. Drop a 4 if y'all believe that the government knows exactly what's going on. Drop a 5 if y'all think the government has no clue. Zach, drop the 4. Come on, y'all, drop them 4s. Drop them 4s. Drop the 4s before I start talking about white people again. Come on, okay, Zena dropped the 4. Tor says it's not a relation, okay. Marie dropped the 4. Miss G dropped the 5. My wife Cooking dropped the 4. Coffee Girl, okay, positive vibe. Okay, come on, y'all, drop the 4s. Drop the 4s. Drop the 4s. Now, let me play devil's advocate. One might say, but why would the government do us like this? Salute, Cotan, salute. Hackman says there's a little bit of everything. I see you, Taurus, T-Guy. I can't pronounce that word. You trying to put me in the trick bag, ain't you? Zach says nuclear materials have been smuggled and the drones are looking for them. Good point. Michelle Sharon dropped 4s. Taurus guy says, meaning there are more than 2 options. Positive Vibe says, don't let the bald head man bully y'all. All right. I think this is about, okay. Coffee Girl says the government had to control the chaos. Tourist guy says they know more than nothing but less than everything. Zach says I'm color deaf. We are all humans. Hackman says let's keep it real. 80s baby says the government is clueless. Zag just dropped a 4. All right, let's jump to this, y'all. Let me jump back. 808 Roadkill dropped the 4. Sagas dropped the 4. Make sure y'all double tap the screen. Get my likes up. Make sure everybody double tap the screen and get my likes up.
Close its airspace for several hours. This happened at
Marie says they knew before we knew about what going on and they are playing dumb. Hackman says that's another one we all human. Right, Hackman, right. Tourist guy says the government has to decide what their response will be. Now, according to this, what we about to listen to, the U.S. Air Force Base closes airspace amongst these drone sightings. Wow.
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base over the weekend in Ohio, and just in new air traffic control audio obtained by military news website The War Zone of the moment it happened.
So they got audio. They got audio, y'all.
Mid-Flight Patterson Tower using extreme caution for heavy UAS movement on the base. Security forces is handling the situation, and I gotta keep the lights down so that security forces can see.
Ohio, now the latest of several states to report drone concerns as scrutiny over the federal response is building. This morning, lawmakers are demanding government officials do more and explain more after weeks of suspicious sightings.
I've had briefings, as I've said, that makes me feel confident based on those briefings that there's not an imminent threat to public safety, but it doesn't answer the question, where are all these drones coming from that people are seeing, and why aren't we doing a better job of tracking them and understanding that? It can't be the Wild West of drones out there in Jersey or anywhere else. We got to get to the bottom of this, and people deserve answers.
Ahead, we'll speak to more lawmakers who are concerned. Seaman Sunlen Serfati is in Washington. Sunlen, what more is the administration planning to do? There are a lot of concerns that have turned to frustration and anger, frankly.
That's absolutely right, Sarah. Concern is growing and pressure certainly is increasing on the administration to be more transparent and clear in how they're handling this and distribute the information that they know. This incident at the Air Force Base over the weekend at Wright-Patterson, right outside Dayton, Ohio, really increasing the alarm. The fact that that airspace was closed for 4 hours. This is, as you noted, a very critical airspace. Air Force Center hosts the Air Force Research Lab, the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. So certainly concerning that a drone would be flying in that airspace overhead. And it comes as these drone sightings are only increasing, now extending beyond New York and New Jersey, but other places, especially in the Northeast. So that only increasing the alarm here. And we have seen a recalibration of sorts from the administration over the weekend, really leaning into this message that they are on it, despite, as you noted, some frustration from lawmakers demanding more answers. But we heard from the Secretary of Homeland Security over the weekend saying that he is not aware of any direct national security concerns and trying again to tell the public that the administration is on it. Here's what the Secretary had to say.
There's no question that people are seeing drones, and I want to assure the American public that we in the federal government have deployed additional resources, personnel, technology to assist the New Jersey State Police in addressing the drone sightings.
So the administration, they're really trying to express that they're increasing some resources to take care of this issue and learn more about this issue. Meantime, Republican Mike Waltz of Florida, President-elect Donald Trump's incoming national security advisor, really taking issue with where exactly these drone sightings are happening, specifically over military sites and restricted airspaces. Here's what he had to say.
I think what the drone issue points out are kind of gaps in our agencies, gaps in our authorities, between the Department of Homeland Security, local law enforcement, the Defense Department. It's pointing to gaps in our capabilities and in our ability to clamp down on what's going on here. And we need to get to the bottom of it. And I think the Biden administration is working to do that.
Now, lawmakers on both sides, though, Sarah, are certainly expressing very vocal frustrations on the part of the administration here for what they believe is not being as transparent as they would like and calling for new regulations over drones. So this certainly is going to be something, Sarah, we are going to see on Capitol Hill this week. All this talk about the drones and the concerns over the security.
Sunlen Serfati, thank you so much for that good reporting. Appreciate it. Kate?
Also this morning, 2 men are in custody after police say a drone came dangerously close, is how they describe it, to Boston's Logan International Airport, and a third person is now believed to be on the run. CNN's Gloria Cosmino has more.
And y'all do know that 2 men were arrested. 2 men were arrested. Wow. You can't make this up, y'all. It's something up with these drones. That's all I'm going to say. It's something up with these drones. It's something up. And when it all comes out, we're all going to be shocked. When it all comes out, we are all going to be shocked.
We are still waiting to hear more about what was behind these arrests, but what we do know so far is that an officer spotted the drones and then was able to deploy drone detection technology to identify the drone history, the owners, and the locations from where they were being operated from. That led the police department to Boston Harbor Island. This is a largely uninhabited part of Boston. And once police arrived there, they were able to arrest 2 people. They initially tried to flee on foot, but
but they were eventually captured. One of them had a drone in their backpack, and another is believed to have fled using a small vessel. A third person who the police are still looking for. Now, we don't know how much we are going to learn as a result of these arrests just yet, and whether or not it will explain some of the sightings that have been reported in Boston. But the fact that the police department was able to use technology is certainly something that a lot of law enforcement officials and representatives across many of these different communities are talking about. Here in New York, Governor Kathy Hochul also telling us that the state is receiving some additional resources from the federal government after some drone sightings resulted in an airfield having to be shut down over this past weekend because of drone sightings over airspace at a local airport. Now, Governor Kathy Hochul issued a statement on Sunday saying, in part, in response to my calls for additional resources, our federal partners are deploying a state-of-the-art drone detection system to New York State.
Now, tourist guy wants me to go back to the race issue. Wow. Why now? Why now, tourist guy? Why now you want me to go back to the race issue?
System will support state and federal law enforcement in their investigation. Now, something we're not clear on just yet is exactly what kind of technology New York is going to be receiving, if it's going to be anything like what Boston deployed and helped them to find the drones and conduct those arrests. I have been asking about this technology, but I've been told that because this is now an issue of national security, the state is not going to share more information about what the technology is or where it will be deployed. However, I am told by sources familiar with the conversations that the governor and the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, held a few phone calls over the weekend to discuss the need for more resources.
CNN political analyst Parker Talent.
All right, y'all. I'm going to drop to the chat. I'm going to drop to the chat and read some comments. I'm going to drop to the chat and take some comments. I'm going to drop to the chat and take some comments. Link says, he got to the mini sub to get to Dr. Evil's liar. Saga says, if the drones up there can't find what they say they can't find, we are toast. Hackman says, God words is manifesting itself. Salute Spitfire. Spitfire says, Mr. Eggman, perhaps. We got 510 watching with 67 likes. Double tap the screen and get my likes up. Double tap the screen and get my likes up. If y'all don't get my likes up, I'm going to go back to talking about funky ass white people. So y'all double tap my screen and get my likes up. Salute Sep says, this reminds me of what China did a couple years ago. Spitfire says, hey, sir, great to see you. Great to see you, Spitfire. Great to see you. I'm like, for me, I get what everybody is saying. The government. I don't think the government, I think these drones are out of the government's hand. Link says, can't wait for Sonic 3. I think that these flying drones, I think they are out of the government. I think it's too far-fetched. Hackman says Area 51. I don't think the government knows exactly what's going on. Spitfire says, oh, they know something. I think that they got an idea. But I think that the flying drones, those flying drones is off of the government's radar. That's just my personal opinion. Now, will they find out everything that there is to know? Will they be able to put their finger on everything that they need to know? In due time. In due time, they will. But right now, I don't think the government knows. Sep says, I feel like if they were ours, they would have reassured us that everything is A-okay. I agree. I agree. Hackman says it's levels to these organizations. I agree. Link says, sorry, Shank. I was responding to Spitfire, and yeah, I think the same. I used to fly. I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to let this finish. Daniel says, what are you expecting? Little green men. Nah. I do believe in aliens. I just don't believe in the form that they've been showing us in these movies. I think the aliens look like me and you. I think the aliens, I think people that's from these other planets, I think they look just like me and you. Coffee Girl says, again, you open the gates to the country. You welcome all kinds of There you go, Coffee Girl, trying to trip me up. You know my funky, bald head, milk dud ass can't spell, Coffee Girl. But y'all see what Coffee Girl wrote. Miss G says, I don't think they know for certain. Hackman says, re-efficients. You thought I was going to mess that word up, didn't you, Hackman? I see y'all trying to trick me up now. I see it. Y'all know that I can't pronounce now. I see y'all. Y'all know I mess up names. Y'all know I mess up words. I see y'all trying to trip me up, Hackman and Coffee Girl. I see you. Taylor says, forgiven. Hackman says, re-efficients. You like how I pronounce that, don't you, Hackman? 612. Let's go back. Positive Vibe says, they ain't even a hard word to say. I see you still swinging. You're on one tonight, bro. I got to be on one tonight, Still Swinging Podcast. I got to be on one. Because if I don't, then everybody in the chat will roast me. But I ain't that much longer from ending this. And make sure y'all pull up later on for a Still Swinging Podcast demonstration as well. Spitfire says, it's a mess out here. I hear the Pope opening 5 portal on Christmas. Saget says, you kidding me, Shank? Let's get back to the lesson, y'all.
It's now, Margaret. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm wearing drone green in case you've been in New Jersey. You got green, gold, and red in the sky. Drone green.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it like that. That's Chuck Schumer for you, right? With props.
That's some high tech property there. That will get to the bottom of it.
It is, there does seem to be a sense, I think, that people feel that the federal government must know more about these drones.
They really know more about it, and they're not saying what it is, right? That's one of the threads here. Look, this has got all the elements of like a Close Encounters of the Third Kind story, right? Is it the Iranians? Is it a secret intelligence security check by the government? It's classified, so they can't tell you about it. Is it one of 800,000 drones that are registered to the FAA that are flying around largely unregulated? So the bottom line is there's been no definitive, decisive explanation about this yet. There's a bunch of legislation that either regulates it or would expand authorities for different parts of the federal government to regulate or to deal with the mitigation of drones. And this is all coming to a head at the end of one administration before another takes over. So you've got Joe Rogan saying now he's really worried, and Donald Trump, President-elect Trump, saying shoot him down. And all of these sort of theatrics are, they're getting the public ramped up, but they still don't really address the question of what's going on here.
Right. And so speaking of shooting down, Mayorkas, the Homeland Secretary, was asked about this as well. Let's listen to what he said about the prospect of shooting down these drones.
Now, I do agree with him. I'm only going to hold y'all another 2 minutes, and then we're going to get out of here. I do agree with them when they say not to shoot them down. I agree with them when they say not to shoot them down. 3 points for the white people. 3 points for the white people. That was the correct answer. So y'all see, white people, all of y'all are not dumb. All of y'all are not stupid. Sometimes y'all can be on point. Is that better for y'all? But I do agree. I do agree because we don't know what's in them. And if we shoot them down, it can release some harmful gases. Link says, yeah, they could hack them in the sky and fly the drones away. So I do agree with not shooting them down. Jim says, Shank, to be fair, you're pretty stupid. Now, you know what, Jim? Usually, I would get my moderators to run you up out of here, Jim. But I'm glad that I got a stupid white person like Jim. White people, it just goes to show just how dumb and stupid y'all are. But I'm not even going to run you up out of here, Jim. Be my guest. Stay in here and troll me. Hackman says, I think they've been missing them already. Hackman says, let him get off. Sagas says, now that white woman in green is stupid. There you go, Sagas. There you go. But nah, y'all know I be just playing. And y'all know, just like when I talk about black people, I'm not talking about all black people. When I talk about immigrants, I'm not talking about all immigrants. When I talk about white people, I'm not talking about all white people. Everybody knows that. Loosen up a little bit, y'all. Loosen up a little bit. Seth said, haha, I'm white. You my people, Seth. You've been rocking with me for a while, Seth. You my people. See, I got white friends. I'm not prejudiced. That's a joke, y'all. Where y'all sense of humor at? I know you white, Saggers. I know you white. Martin says, come on, Shank. I don't think I'm stupid. You messed up your credit at 18, Martin, and you white? That's as stupid as they get, Martin. How in the hell your white ass at 18 years old, Martin, messes up your credit? But come on, y'all. We gotta be able to have a sense of humor. We gotta be able to call a spade a spade. We gotta be able to laugh and joke without people getting offended. Look, I let people roast me. They've been roasting me about, and I don't know if y'all been rocking with me for 2 years or more. Salute Martin. Martin says fair enough. See, Martin's a good sport, but I got roasted on my head. I got roasted on, yeah, Coffee Girl. There you go, Coffee Girl. Get him, Coffee Girl. Get him, Coffee Girl, about that bad credit. But they roast me about my stanky leg. They roast me by the way I dance. They always roasted me how I pronounce words, how I mess up people's names. I don't care. Roast me. Roast me. Let's have fun. You got to have thick skin. Roast me. Roast the hell out of me. I don't care. I'm like Smokey on Friday. I don't give a fuck. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Seriously. But if y'all been rocking with me, y'all know I do have my moments when I'm serious. Certain demonstrations that I do, I'm serious. And even Positive Vibes and Coffee Girl, as much as they roast me, they even know certain demonstrations, they know not to play. They know not to joke around. So, you know, it's just the platform. It's a platform for everybody. And let's just loosen up and have a sense of humor. All I said was you're stupid. I thought you knew you were. I know I'm stupid, Jim. That's why I'm laughing with you. That's why I didn't tell my moderators to run your funky ass up out of here. Now, I'm tired of explaining. You either had tough skin over here or get your funky black, white, or immigrant, yellow, brown. I don't care what race you are. If you don't loosen up, you ain't gonna last long over here. I can tell y'all that now. Because I ain't got no problem with telling my moderators to get you up out of here. All right? Look, y'all, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. What about Orange? The Orange man, Donald Trump. And that's who I was gonna vote for, Trump. Come on, y'all. Where's y'all sense of humor? Come on. We gotta be able to laugh and joke. Come on, everybody. We all are stupid to someone. There you go. I'm stupid to someone. We all are stupid. We all are dumb. Come on, people. Now, this is my last warning. I ain't gonna warn y'all no more. I'm not gonna warn y'all no more. If you don't have a thick skin, you ain't gonna last long over here. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You're not gonna last long over here if you don't have a thick skin. If I'm roasting you, roast me back. I don't care. Roast me back. Get on my bald head. Come on. Let's have some fun. Because, look, I can't tell y'all to stay away from my troublemakers. I can't tell y'all to stay away from Positive Vibes and Coffee Girl. Y'all even got Tommy running with y'all now. Tommy was my #1 angel. Tommy's funky ass Still Swinging Podcast is not an angel no more. So I ain't gonna tell y'all to stay away from my troublemakers, because y'all gonna end up with my troublemakers anyway. So, hey. Salute everybody. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. I'll see y'all later on over there on the Still Swinging podcast. Martin says, hey, you got a bald head. My man, roast me. Have fun with me. Let's joke. Let's laugh. Listen, we are going into a new year. No, you're not, Spitfire. No, you're not, Spitfire. Positive Vibes and Coffee Girl done got the yo funky ass to Spitfire. So don't try to make it seem like you an angel and you either 80s baby. I was just waiting for you to say something, 80s baby. You a quiet troublemaker. You are a quiet troublemaker. But look, y'all, we going into a new year, 2025. Let's leave the old in 2024 and let's evolve. Let's evolve. Let's move on to bigger and better things. And you know what I mean? Salute everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Check me out later on. I haven't figured out, me and Tommy haven't figured out the exact time, but check me out on the Still Swinging podcast later on this evening. Salute everybody, and I'll see y'all back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Hackman says slicker than grease on the doorknob. See, y'all won't let me go. Y'all won't let me leave. There go Hackman trying to roast me. Nah, y'all been great. Salute everybody, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Salute.